Start by washing each zucchini, and then I cut the stem end off, and then I'll slice them in half. I find that it's easiest to kind of hollow them out with a melon baller. And I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to dice it up a little bit finer to add with the ground turkey. I only end up using about half of the zucchini in the zucchini boats mixed with the turkey. The rest of this I'll save in my refrigerator and add it to our breakfast omelets. On my stovetop, I'm going to brown some ground turkey. My son likes to add chopped onion to this. My husband does not like onion, so I'm going to leave it out today. I store my extra marinara sauce just in mason jars in my refrigerator. And for these zucchini boats, I'll probably use about half of a jar full. Once the turkey is completely browned, I will add in the zucchini and the homemade marinara sauce. And I just warm that on the stovetop completely through. Then I just fill each little zucchini boat with the meat mixture from the stovetop. Then I just sprinkle a tiny bit of mozzarella cheese over the top of each boat. I bake these at 375 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. Tortillas are normally higher in sodium content, so we make our own. They're super easy. So I just use 3 1/3 cups of flour, and then I'm going to use 1 1/2 cups of the Greek non-fat plain yogurt. This has 65 milligrams of sodium in it. And then if it's a little too dry, I'll just add a little bit of water, and I'm going to cook them on my stovetop. And then we'll have a tortilla that's low in sodium. Mix these together. You could also do this in a stand mixer with the dough hook. I just prefer to do it by hand. And this will make about 12 tortillas. It's starting to come together, but I'm gonna use just a little bit more water. There we go. Okay, when they start to come together, I'm gonna dump them out on my countertop. Once I get it dumped out, I like to knead it just a little bit to make sure it all comes together. And in case there's any kind of damp spots in it, I can add a little bit more flour. You don't want too much flour, but you don't want your dough sticky either. Now I'm going to divide this into 6 pieces, and then divide each of these in half. And then just divide up the dough so they're somewhat even in size. So before I roll them out, I'm going to warm up this skillet on my stovetop and just brush some olive oil on top of it so they don't stick. Okay, let's start rolling. I still haven't found a way to get them a perfect round tortilla-like shape, but this works for us. If you know how to do that, let me know in the comment section. Let's go put this one on the stove. Once it's in the pan, I like to brush the top lightly with some olive oil, just so that when I flip it, it for sure doesn't stick. It's getting close. It probably only takes maybe 2 to 3 minutes on each side. When I take them out of the skillet, I let them cool on this wire rack, and I store them in my refrigerator in a plastic Ziploc bag in between paper towels. Then we can turn them into these yummy chicken pitas. Occasionally we'll add some pineapple chunks, some mandarin oranges, like I said, some diced bell peppers, lettuce, sliced chicken, and it just makes the best sandwich. I will link my pizza crust recipe up in the corner. The only thing I change for this now is I don't add salt. So I'll start with the homemade marinara and then build from here. To finish out our pizza, we'll add some pineapple, 0 sodium, bell pepper, 0 sodium. I normally like to add red bell pepper or green, but I didn't have any today, so it's going to have to be the yellow. And then spinach. In 1/4 cup of mozzarella cheese, there is 190 milligrams of sodium. So I'm going to make sure that I just use a sprinkle, maybe about 1/8 of a cup. In 15 pepperonis, there are 520 milligrams of salt. So I'm using 5 pepperonis, and then I'm going to sliver them. This way, we're still getting the flavor of pepperoni without all that extra sodium. Olives are another thing that's high in sodium. In 3 olives, there are 175 milligrams of sodium, so I make sure to only use 3 olives. There's our finished pizza, so let's put them in the oven. I would love to know your favorite recipes in the comment section below. As always, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.